Last time! I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait! What? What? Why isn't it opening? Lotus tried to take advantage of Ace's confusion and managed to twist herself out of his grasp, but at the last second he grabbed hold of her wrist and shoved it into the red. He waved the number 9 bracelet over the red and his own bracelet as well. He pulled the lever a second time. No! What is this? Why? The digital route should be 9. It has to be 9. And why isn't it opening? Ace's fury and confusion had overridden all other thoughts. He had set down the revolver. It was just below the red. 7 chose that moment to act. He moved far faster than a man of his bulk should have been able to, and launched that bulk straight at Ace. Ah! Ooh, that sounded painful. It was over before they knew it. In the blink of an eye, Ace was on the floor. He rolled onto his side, groaning in pain. Ah! Lotus ran straight for Junpei. She darted around behind him and stuck her head out, making sure to keep Junpei between herself and Ace. Ha! That was close. Too close. Thank you, 7. Don't mention it. 7 stood over Ace, his breathing slow and heavy. Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what I did 9 years ago, I'd have ripped him to pieces. But if a Sispa can't talk, there ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat. 9 years ago? Ah, then you must be. Yeah, you finally figured it out, dumbass. Ace planted his hands on the floor and shook his head. Junpei walked towards him. He stopped and looked down at Ace with pity on his face. Ace, you killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Masoshido, didn't you? Wait, Nijisaki? He peered at Junpei, genuinely confused. Oh, right, you don't know yet. Alright, well, just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into the door all alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the Nonary game, the number 9 was dangerous. Whoever had the number 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. You could add 9 to any number and the digital route wouldn't change. In other words, number 9 could do whatever they wanted. Ace had wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. Ace also wanted to have the number 9 bracelet himself, so that he could make use of its power. In fact, he later made use of its power in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number had been different, Kubota presented a problem for Ace. Kubota had known Ace's past. He'd known what had happened 9 years before. Before he told anyone, Ace had to silence him. 4. But last and perhaps most disturbing, Ace had used Kubota as a test. He wanted to know how serious this Notary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank? He convinced Kubota to break the rules so that he might see what happened. That's why you killed Kubota. But he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing part for the red, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize it was Nijisaki. Chiefly because when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That's why you thought Nijisaki was Snake. No, that's not. That was Nijisaki. Why? How did... I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid. But his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. If that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That's when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kabuta's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. I verified your own number, then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel too. And when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed, and poor Nijisaki was dead. And you mean to say Snake is still alive? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much. Well, I wouldn't blame you. Ace's self-derision was frustrating. But Junpei kept his emotions in check and continued. Last but not least, let's talk about Masoshido's death. When Clove and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. You remember what you said? Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it? I handed you the pocket watch and you left the room. Ace had been in charge of the notary project. He would of course had known the solution to every puzzle. It followed then that he knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All Ace had to do was place the pocket watch in the indentation of the door to unlock it. The door opened, he was able to enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was in there. Next to him was an axe that fairly begged Ace to kill Musashido with it. He picked up the axe and swung it, burying the blade deep in the other man's chest. One blow was all it took. Afterwards, Ace returned to the chart room as though nothing had happened. There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Would you come with me for a moment? With no reason not to, Junpei had followed Ace to the wheelhouse. When they reached the wheelhouse, Ace slipped his hand into Junpei's vest. Pulled out a piece of paper, the piece of paper Junpei had used to cheat during the vote. It wasn't the piece of paper that Ace was after. His true purpose had been to slip the pocket watch into Junpei's pocket. It wasn't a very good plan. He had far too many flaws, and the wrong word of discovery could easily have toppled it. But it made Ace so desperate. That was the only one thing Junpei hadn't been able to figure out. Masoshido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it, but why? Because of this. Slowly, Ace reached down and pulled something out of his pocket. It was a folded piece of paper. Junpei took it and opened it. This is what it said. Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the notary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by the camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look into the camera and repeat. Once you have confessed everything, I'll release you from this ship. To make your confession more creditable, we'll have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. 0. When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through door 1, or that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least that was my plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice. You meant to kill him from the beginning, then? Musashido, I mean. I only knew Musashido was a witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him and he answered. He seemed groggy, perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. Suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct, I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness. Ace had confessed everything. What energy he had left him with the truth, and he sagged on his knees. Although he had confessed, his sins were not forgiven. Junpei felt revulsion for this prophetic man on the floor near his feet. But in among the revulsion was a hint of pity. After all, Ace had not been the only person who murdered these 3 men. Junpei spoke quietly. Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? We're being manipulated. Yes, so it would seem. I was a little more than a puppet in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap. I'm quite ashamed of myself. But yes, this was a trap. It was Zero's trap, and I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do. Yeah, by manipulating Ace, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this notary game happened. Am I right, Santa? Junpei looked over at Santa. As Junpei spoke, he stood up, his legs still shaky. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any. Ain't no point in trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh? Seven's face was sad as he spoke. My memories came back, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the notary game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you. Heh. Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Santa's smile was sarcastic and something else. Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the notary game 9 years ago. I made it out, so did Snake over there. But there was one thing. No, I guess there's 2 things he got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero. That's what I feared. But I do believe he's working with Zero. Wait, what? Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant. Like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all of this. All I did was follow Zero's orders. Then, if you're not Zero, who is? Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? Made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this notary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the notary game. To save someone. Save someone? Right. We're brought here to help my sister. To save Akane. What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there, I saw. Suddenly, Seven froze. His eyes went as wide as dinner plates, and he spun around towards June. Junpei followed his gaze. She was gone. Where June had been, there was nothing. What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki? Seven began to mumble to himself, a strange series of words strung together as if his mind wasn't functioning properly. His face was twisted with effort, as though he were struggling with something he couldn't see. He gritted his teeth and pressed his hands against the sides of his heads. Ah, my head! My head! It feels like it's gonna pop! He groaned and fell to his knees. Seven! What the hell is going on? I don't know! I just swear to God my head feels like it's about to explode! From somewhere far away, they all heard a deep, heavy noise. It sounded like a tremendous wheel slowly beginning to turn. Santa seemed to have entered an almost trance-like state. His words were calm and measured. What was the notary project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For 2 organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenic field theory. But human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information. That's what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were 2 separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was building in the Nevada called Building Q. Building Q had been built to replicate exactly the interior of the Gigantic. 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles. Copies of identical ones on the Gigantic, who were told to send their answers into the morphogenic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. Transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling player was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason she was placed on the Gigantic with receivers like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei. Where? What is going? Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't. How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kabuta and Nijisaki? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it? Well, that's... The answer to that is easy. He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent him through the morphogenic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down W. The river flows from the top to the bottom from a single stream in two branches. It only flows in one direction, it can never flow backwards. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, never flows backwards. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about the downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But am I different? But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am the 9th letter of the alphabet. I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0, not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. Where? Where did she go? June. No, Akane. Where did you go? Santa! Why is Clover? Oh shit. Freeze. Santa's got the gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head. Get up. Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but... What's your plan, Santa? What are you doing? You can't get through any numbered doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking? Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true. That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out. Now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens. Damn! Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon. You mean we're trapped? So it would seem. What the hell is Santa trying to do? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, what? Have you considered where we are? There can only be one thing Santa would do, now. No! No, you can't be serious. Oh, buddy, shit, we gotta do something. Maybe we can still get out through this, door 9. There's the red. Yeah, alright, we can do this. I just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. We come up 1 number too large, or 1 number short. Is there any combination that will work? Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook? Sure, why not? I don't think I'm going to need them anyways. Ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations, a lot of them. Huh? Oh man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that. Jeez. What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that. Alright, at least 7 got it away from her, but maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let me see. Shit! And there's no other way! Lotus. Looks like she'd figured it out though. Man, this is just too cruel. It's okay. Go. Lotus. Come on, you know we can't do that. Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me. God damn it, you idiot! Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did. Without, if you're not, look, it'd be bad, alright? Our copy sure didn't have much confidence. Bad? Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job. Huh? Look, I'm not leaving you behind, alright? End of story. 7? He's right, I'm not leaving you either. Me too! You don't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you? Ugh. You're all idiots. Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry. That being said, however... I doubt we would be able to open the door anyways, even if we were to leave Lotus behind. Huh? Why? I trust you remember what happened to Ace. I couldn't see exactly what had happened, but I was able to guess he was attempting to do earlier at the Red. Oh yeah! No! What is this? Why? Digital route should be 9. It has to be 9. Then why isn't it opening? Just to see, why don't we give it a shot? Give it a shot? Yes, that is what I said. Two plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 equals 18. Did we get it? Right! It ain't opening. But it did open 9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it. You think maybe they changed the settings? Perhaps. Shit, if we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high, there's no way in hell we could get to that hole 7 popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise, like a clap of thunder. It was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant advent melted into him, and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me. Come on, over here! That was my brother Aoi. He was screaming. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age. Come on! Hurry it up! We ran down a long, straight hallway and burst into a large hospital room. Oh God. Everyone was arguing. Two of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. "I want to go home," she cried. "I want to go home." Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It had been 2 hours since the notary game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, he would call him Snake. "Hello, everyone. Yes, could you come over here for a moment?" He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fight died down, and we gathered around him. "I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q, and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday." As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers. "I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant as well. It is difficult, to say the least, but my sister means a great deal to me. I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or sister in Building Q of Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of these to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want each of you to have one of these. They're a promise between friends. He gave a clover to each one of us. I took one too. Eventually I was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. And one last thing to say. Don't ever forget. So long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand? When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the number doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with a 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was only the 1. If there was only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape. What are we going to do? There aren't any other doors. We began to panic, and as things had not gotten bad enough already. Warning! Warning! Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good. My brother Awe swallowed hard and answered, I think it means the room is gonna burn. Burn? Plaque on the door says incinerator. That voice said that the incinerator's about to start. And incinerate means burn. No! Help me! Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Her pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. It was a huge, frightening mountain of a man as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7. Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. The rest had happened just like 7 had said it did. The 4 of us had stayed behind, We're saved by Seven. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid into the wall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was set off double doors. It was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. After we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother, Awe, and Snake. And Seven. The other children, the ones who'd gone ahead through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upwards like a tornado. Eventually I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized... Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present? Oh... I thought I'd had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back. I had to. Now I couldn't tell the others. It would stop me. I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think. I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. And hid in the shadows, and moments later, I felt a run of wind as they ran past me up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically. There it is! It was just where I thought it'd be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran towards the stairs and freedom... The door to the incinerator opened, and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Gentoro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace. Ah, how wonderful to see you decided to come back. His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply put up the corners of his mouth. Come with me. We must continue the experiment. I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist. I said, come with me. There was an edge of insanity in his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could. No, I don't want to. Let me go. Please let go of me. I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo. Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you. He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed, help me! Somebody help me! Then suddenly... Akane! The door to the stairs flew open. My brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake. Akane! He cried out my name again as he leapt towards Hongo. You came back! I cried out. Ah, you're too late, idiot. Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator. Ah! The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked towards the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. Those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything you would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. Waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? Made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later... The double door slid shut as well. faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran towards the door of the 9. Akane! Akane! Are you okay? I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. Worried, frightened voice. Help me! My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could, and my voice echoed lonely across the empty room. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Where's Hongo? One of the other door. What? Then it started again. Warning, warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Holy shit, man, I knew what I was gonna say, but this is one hell of a creepy voice. I knew it! I knew it! It's starting. Santa started the incinerator. Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years. What the hell? What the hell? What are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that. And when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. What in God's name are you talking about? You aren't making any sense. I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now. I promise I'll tell you everything once we get out of here. But automatic incineration will take place in 17 minutes. Know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn. What kind of an idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means. Well, God damn it. Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out. What? Why me? Just shut up and stop this thing. How the hell? There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button. There isn't anything like that. How the hell would you know? Because I looked for it 9 years ago. Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor, it's moving. Okay. What else can I say, but... What the hell is that? What is that? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least, it kind of did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off, even as more took their place, and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I can see on the screen is a reflection of my own face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, alright? Everything's gonna be okay. Man, I wish this thing would just shut up. Automatic incineration will take place in 15 minutes. Alright, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. What the hell am I supposed to do with it? Hey, move. Hey, we're all tense, lady. That doesn't mean you can shove people around. Okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. This is bad. This is really bad. There's nothing on here. How are we supposed to do it? Or do anything with it? Sure, just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... You know what? It did something. Hey, well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen, though? What is it? What the hell? It looked like some sort of puzzle. It's got a bunch of numbers scattered across a 9x9 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 9. Do you think that if we solve this puzzle, the incinerator will stop? Yeah, well, we can hope, right? Alright, puzzle, how do you work? Oh man, what goddamn voice again? Automatic incineration will take place in 13 minutes. Shit! 13 minutes? Can we really do this? Can we? My heart feels like it's gonna pop. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I'm sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Jumpy had been gone for a while. I couldn't get any more information from him. His mind was gone. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured over them. Then I heard a voice. "Hey, what are you doing?" It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face, a frightened, evil face. "Hey, what are you doing?" It was Hongo. How long had he been watching me? I don't know what to do." He was yelling, but his voice was still muffled. "It's simple, really. I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve the puzzle on that machine." His laughter was muffled by the door, but it still tore at my heart like claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back hot tears. You're a terrible person. I hate you." "Oh my. How could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person? That's not very nice. I'm quite fair. I don't use tricks or play dirty. You see, I've even left you a way out." "A way out?" "Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that and you can stop the incinerator." "What's the point of stopping it? You'll only capture me, make me do this all again. I'm not going to listen to you. If you're just going to throw me back in here, I might as well just die now." "My goodness. Haven't you listened to anything I've said? I told you I'm a fair man. If you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will in turn activate. If this experiment is to deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. If you succeed, you will escape." The verification function of the red? Then I remembered. Before Hongo left the room, he had scanned 2 bracelets into the red. So you remember. Right now, there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1 and the second is 3. Say, Connie, what's your number? Down at my left hand. I looked down at my left hand. The face on my bracelet showed a 5. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. Ran to the door with the 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel. You really aren't one for listening, are you? I hear Hongo's muffled voice from across the room. I already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of a fool are you? Why are you doing this? You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys. Now start the experiment, solve the puzzle. I can't. I don't know how. Of course you don't, isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the morphogenic field and find the solution. I can't. Then you'll die. You'll burn alive. It's going to be quite hot in there in a few minutes. I imagine it'll be very painful. His horrible laugh echoed across the room. Even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it. Automatic incineration will take place in 10 minutes. I was crying, great gulping sobs broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fear pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow, I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the empty monitor. I can't. I just can't. There's no way. I can't figure this out. What was I gonna do? I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could do, or all I could think of, was how I was going to die. My palms were sweating. My blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot. So hot. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself to pieces. I reached into my pocket, wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The tall jumpy had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed. Help me, Jumpy! Help me! Help me! Jumpy! Jumpy! Please, help me! Jumpy! Akane! Akane! Who the hell is Akane? Shut up! Just shut the hell up! Seven and Lotus didn't understand. I think Clover and Snake had an idea, though. Clover is looking at me, and I think Snake may have figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're in my way. Where'd she go? Maybe over here? Akane! Akane! Can you hear me? Akane, say something! Fuck! Did something break our connection? I swear I just heard her. Shit. Akane! Answer me! Akane! Jumpy? I spun around. I heard a voice. His voice. I looked around. It wasn't in the room, of course, but I'd heard it so clearly. Like he was right there. Jumpy! I screamed as loud as I could. Immediately, I heard him call back. Kane! Jumpy! That's her, she's there. Then that means... Akane! Are you in an incinerator right now? Yes, I am. How did you know? Now I understand what Santa meant. Right, there's only one way to help her. You were brought here to help my sister, to save Akane. I think I get it now. Automatic incineration will take place in 7 minutes. Jumpy, we don't have time. As quickly as I could, I told him that I had to solve the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator. Got it! And I do. I get everything now. At last, I finally understand what all of this means. I know why the notary game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. It was all for this moment. All of this was planned out to lead to this one moment.
Oh my god.
This is insane. I can't believe it, but there's only one possible answer. June, Zero is Akane Kurashiki. She recreated the history of the future that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago. She tried to save herself that way 9 years ago. Oh, she's trying to save herself right now. That means that there's only one thing for me to do. Even if this is all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kurashiki. I must save her no matter what. Automatic incineration will take place in 6 minutes. Jumpy! Yeah, I know. Just hang on, alright? I promise I'll get you out of there. I'm not gonna let you die. I promise. So don't worry, alright? Just give me a few minutes, okay? Okay. My voice shook as I answered. It was hot in the room. I felt my heart was on fire. 6 minutes or not, my heart burned with my feelings for him. Alright, time to get to work, Junpei. A snake talking to them about something? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Get out of my way. Hey, what are you? Just trust me, okay? Sorry, Lotus, I didn't mean to snap, but there's a lot more at stake here than you realize. And your pride, I'll apologize later, okay? Now let's just have a look at this thing. It's got numbers all over the grid. Now if I'm looking at this right, I'm going to need to fill in all the empty squares with other numbers from 1 to 9. And I can't use the same two numbers in any horizontal or vertical row. The same has to go for the 3x3 square with the thick lines around them. This means I need to put different numbers in the horizontal and vertical rows as well as the 3x3 spaces. I think that's the rule here. Well, Sudoku. Alright! Bring it on! I'm gonna do this on my own with my own mind. I'm gonna solve this problem. Seek a way out. Well, we know which way we're seeking. Oh, give me a minute. I'm gonna have to flip this around. Now, I will say that's a fucking fantastic use of the DS hardware at the time. You literally would have had to flip the console around. I love that. Anyhow, so this looks like basic Sudoku to me. This should be pretty straightforward to solve. And he even told us the riddles if we haven't played before. So let's try it out. 8, 7, 2, 5. Okay. I think we're good there. What can we use here? We haven't used... Yeah, you know what? That'll probably work. Six. Okay, yes, it worked. So we can just solve it one block at a time. 6, 4, 2, 1, 3, 5, 8, 7. There's only one number that could fit in there. 629, 8. 629, 8, 629, 8. 3, 5, 1, maybe? Okay. Then 7, 4. Good, good, good. 6, 7, 3. 4, 5. 6, 3. Okay, that's another one. Another one's gone. Another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. 1, 6, 8, 2, 4. Funny thing is, I don't play Sudoku a lot. Only played it a few times. This seems pretty straightforward, luckily. I will say that I'm happy they didn't give us a timer. Well, I think this is doable in 6 minutes. Yep. Okay, awesome. Okay, we're doing good. Doing good. Okay. Okay. Yes. I know what this one is. Try a 5 and a 7. Three, 8, 2. Haha, okay, we got it. Now there's literally only 2 numbers we can use here. And that's 5. And then the fateful 1. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. Guess is what we need. What? Wait a second. No. I think I see what they're doing here. Yes! That's it! Akane! Did you get it? Yes! I did it! I solved it! Well, I mean, really, you solved it for me, but I copied everything you did, now I just have to press enter! What the hell are you waiting for? Push it! Okay, I will! I hit the enter key. Emergency shutdown command has been acknowledged. Incineration system has been shut down. Jumpy! What's wrong? It worked! It worked! The incinerator shut down! It worked! Tears rolled down my face as I cried out to him. But they were a very different sort of tears. A wonderful feeling of accomplishment, relief, and relief flooded my body. At the same time, what strength I had left disappeared and I collapsed to the floor. For a while I just lay there, laughing, crying, and enjoying being alive. Every time I thought about him, I thought my heart would burst. Phew! I can't believe I did that. Glad, I'm so glad. I feel like my heart's on fire. Shit. No, I don't have time to be thinking about that kind of shit. I need to tell Akane. Akane! Sorry, but things are kind of busy over here. I'm gonna have to hang up now, okay? What is this, a phone call? Oh, of course. That's fine. I wiped the tears from my eyes and nodded vigorously even though I knew he couldn't see me. I looked over at the corner of the floor. There were 2 bracelets Honko had left behind. Now, well, 7 and Lotus don't look particularly happy with me. Not a very nice look to give someone who just saved your life, guys. Junpei, are you? Okay. Ah, shut it. Right, okay, so maybe they have a reason to be pissed off. So what if I haven't pressed the enter key yet? Alright, nothing's holding me back now. Here goes. Wait. Automatic incineration will take place in 90 seconds. What? It doesn't sound like it's stopping. What the shit? Why isn't it stopping? Okay, maybe I did hit the enter key hard enough. Maybe I didn't do it hard enough. Just hit it again, and again, and again. Okay, and it's not working. The alarm's still going off. What the hell is going on? Got all the right numbers in the right boxes. It's perfect. So why the fuck isn't this thing stopping? Automatic incineration will take place in 60 seconds. Wait, of course. That's what these numbers under the puzzle mean. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. Snake Clover means 7 in Lotus. Then door 9. No, that's it. That number on the door isn't a 9. It's not even a number. It's a fucking Q. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9. Holy shit, of course. We just have to put the right number into the red and... Automatic incineration will take place in 30 seconds. Run, guys! Get to the door! Run! Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, we don't have much time. I'm not sure they can just trust me on this one or we're all fucked. Alright, no time to explain, just go! Quick! Verify your numbers on the red! Verify? Oh! What combination? All of us! We all need to verify. Why? Really need to think this is a good time to ask questions? Just do it! Hurry, 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 hurry. Automatic incineration will take place in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Central gate has been opened. Incineration system has been disabled. Oh, thank you. Okay, so it wasn't just going to shut down and then we can nonchalantly enter the numbers. That's what I thought was going to happen, but no. Oh, thank fucking Christ. No, no time to be happy. Time to go. Hurry, we've only got 9 seconds before the door closes. Go, go, go. Come on, guys, move it. Okay, they're all through. Move it, Junpei. Just in time. Kind of fucking salty. Of course they wouldn't let us go without reusing base 10. We did every other damn puzzle. Oh, I should have saw that coming. And there goes the door. Oh, don't calm down yet. You're not done. We still gotta find the dead. Oh my god. Oh. Shit! Looks like we made it, huh? Man, that guy sure can laugh when he wants to. Looks like Clover and Lotus are totally out of energy. I guess Snake probably couldn't see the sky, but I'm sure he could feel the fresh air. I just want to take a nap. Akane! Akane! Akane, can you hear me? I wanted to tell her we all made it. I want to tell her how good I feel, but nothing. Oh, please just be Sweet Escape. The door opened. Standing in front of it was my brother. Akane! Aoi! I cried his name even though my voice was almost gone from screaming and leapt into his arms. Oh, Aoi! Akane! I buried my face in his chest and cried again. I cried and cried and cried. The steady thump of his heart in my ear made me feel like I was home. His beat was almost like a lullaby. I wrapped my arms around him as far as they would go and held him as tight as I could. Just to be there felt like a miracle. I haven't felt the warmth of another human being in what seemed like an eternity. I just wanted to stay there in his arms forever, but I couldn't. The moment I passed through the door, my bracelet began to count down to death. I looked away from him and looked around. The door had already closed. I spotted the dead only a short distance away. It took me only a few moments to get to it and scan all the bracelets. I left the ones Hongo had dropped on the scanner panel. That was it. I took a deep breath and looked around again. The huge detective we'd called Seven in 9 years, and Snake, the blind boy, were looking at me. They seemed to be utterly stunned, but my sudden appearance, their eyes were wide and their mouths hung open. Alright, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again. Aoi was right. Oh, that's the wrong voice then. We might run into Hongo again. Let's get out of here. Aoi was right. It was time to get moving. The mention of Hongo seemed to jar Seven and Snake out of their surprise, and they nodded. We took off running up the spiral stairs to freedom. Up, 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 up. Man, these stairs go up forever. If they can get us out of here, no wonder we're running so hard. Heart's beating so hard I can barely hear. God, I can't wait to breathe real air again. Huh? It's Seven talking? Hey, Junpei, can I ask you something? What's up? That door, the one with a 9 on it. Why'd it open? Yeah, all 5 of us verified our numbers on the red. Equals 26, that makes our digital route 8. It shouldn't have opened. That's not like you, Lotus. I thought you would have figured it out already. Huh? Why? Because you're the person who taught me about the idea of bases. Bases? Yeah. What are the 2 numbers in base 2? is 0 and 1. How about base 10? That goes from 0 to 9. That goes from 0 to 9, right? And how about base 16? As 0 and F. After 9, it starts at A and goes from there, B, C, D, etc., etc. You're right. In other words, A in base 16 is 10. A in base 16 is 10, in base 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, and so on. So what about it? You don't get it? What if we keep going with that pattern? What if you go all the way past base 16, all the way to base 27? A base 27? Yeah. Well, the numerical digits are the same, so I guess you could add alphabet digits. E is 14, F is 15, G is 16, H is 17, I is 18, J is 19, K is 20, L is 21, M is 22, N is 23, O is 24, P is 25. Yeah, and what comes after that? Q. 26. And what does that mean? That wasn't a 9 on the door. It was a Q, a fucking lowercase q. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess to put it another way, you could say that it was a 9 in base 10, but a Q in base 27. Time for more running. God, my thighs are killing me. I swear any moment now I'm gonna tear a muscle. I feel like every single cell of my body is dying for air. Damn, every breath I take is a chore now. I feel like my lungs are gonna burst, maybe just a short rest. No, can't stop, won't stop, don't have time. Come on, legs. There can't be many more of these steps left. You can't fail me now. Just run like a bullet down a rifled barrel. A tornado cutting through a sea of clouds. I feel like we're running along the back of a giant coiled dragon, finally. Oh my god. Oh no. Phew. Jesus, I can barely breathe. No, Junpei, no time to rest. Pull yourself together, you're almost there. Alright, I'm gonna open it. Yeah! Yes. We're finally here! Please do. I don't have the energy to. Sure, you look like a big heavy door, but you're the only thing standing between me and my freedom. And even more important than that, you're the only thing standing between me and Akane. You're gonna open, and you're gonna open now. I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Aways. He gave a small, reassuring squeeze. I was so happy I felt like I could melt. My heart was at peace, and not only because my brother and I were back together again. Thanks to the huge detective, all 9 of us who had been kidnapped. We're finally able to escape from the gigantic. On the distant horizon, we could see the faint outline of the ship as it sank. It gave a thunderous roar as it finally slipped beneath the waves. Its last cry echoed across the ocean, and then it was gone. It's over, Aoi whispered. Yeah. It was over. It was finally all over. Or was it? Was it really? No, that was wrong. That wasn't it at all. I was sure of it. That wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. This was only a prologue to what would happen in 9 years. Yes, finally, air! Ah! Damn, that sun is bright. I can barely see anything. Huh. I gotta admit, this doesn't look quite like... Wait! No way. You've gotta be shitting me. What? It can't be. This is... Of fucking course. I never really thought about it, but that makes sense that we're in the Nevada Test Center. The gigantic would have sank at the end of the last experiment, and there's no recovering from that. Not easily, at least. This is the building in the Nevada desert! The Mark experiment building! Oh my god, the whole time we were in building Q? Sure enough, that's a desert out there, with mountains all around it. Hello there, sun. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a sunrise. Ah, did I just hear something fall? Right, our bracelets. I guess we've never really got a good look at the underside of one of these. Let's see what's inside you. Just a little electronic chip, like in an ATM card. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing that even looked like a detonator. There was never a detonator to begin with. Figures. Akane. Jumpy. Heh. Guess I must be pretty crazy about that girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind. That, or you know, she's dead and you're actually crazy. Though I doubt it. God damn it, game! That's crazy. The fevers make so much more sense now, as she would have literally been burning to death in the past. If you think about it, that means any of the endings where we didn't solve the incinerator puzzle, if she didn't get killed first, she would have just simply blinked out of existence, as she would have never been saved in the first place. Now, something I didn't very clearly point out for you guys is that last puzzle is such an awesome revelation. What it basically tells us is the bottom screen's been Akane narrating to us the whole time. The bottom screen is the past, the top screen is the future, which is what Junpei is seeing. And that also means from the bottom screen, she would have been feeding us the information we got from her previous playthroughs for the morphic field. That would mean she's had access to the morphogenic field the whole time. That's probably how she knew she was going to die. How she knew she could be saved 9 years in the future by setting up this puzzle. Of course, she would have had to have Santa help her as the assistant to make all this happen. I just think that's a really cool twist and an awesome thing they did there. However, Meisters, if I didn't miss anything, or you do think something else may have happened, I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter in the comment section down below, as I am not making a separate video on this. Anyhow, Meisters, if you did enjoy the video, as always, do leave a like to show your support. If you would like more Shinigami shenanigans just like today's, ensure to subscribe to the channel and join the Academy for more videos just like this one in the future. Anyhow, Meisters, we'll see you next time. Peace out.